Okay guys, today I'm just going to show you what's involved in changing the blades and the cutting screen on a Vogelsang Inlet Macerator. Now the particular model of this machine that we have here today is an RC5000M. So firstly I removed the outside cover. So that simply just involves using a socket, so a 19mm socket, and using a 19mm spanner. Okay, so just left the cover down there. You'll see there's a little viewport as well that you can look in from the outside. So firstly, just in terms of changing the blade, so obviously you remove the 3 tension bolts. That's done using an 8mm hex socket. And then when you replace the cutting screen and you put back in the bolts, you're torquing them up with a torque spanner or torque wrench up to 80 Newton meters individually. Just taking a quick look at the rotor, which I've also removed. You have your 3 individual blades, and they are secured in place with 3 spring pins. So that's your spring pin there. Now your actual blades themselves are bedded down on what's called the RC cord. It's kind of like a foam insert, so they make sure that the blades are sitting dead square up against the cutting screen to give the optimum cutting performance. Now I'm just going to build back up the actual rotor. So I'm just going to insert it on the key shaft. Obviously the key shaft is connected directly to your hydraulic motor drive on this. Okay. So now I'm just going to put back on the metal housing with the rubber insert. Just squeeze a bit of pressure on that. Nice and tight, just make sure it's sitting snug in there. Okay, then you have a spring washer, so just make sure you have the orientation of this right. Okay, and then I'm going to screw on your locking nut. So basically when you're tightening on the locking nut, just do it by hand tightening initially. So make sure you stop once it touches off the metal washer. Okay, so it's just touching the washer there now. So when you would have got the unit on the outside, you would have had this open wrench which would have been cable tied to the housing itself. So what you do is, now you give it 2 to 2.5 revolutions. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 2.5. And then what you do is you tighten up the preload locking nut. So again, that's just using an 8mm hex, so you can actually have it on a socket here. So just tighten that up. There's no actual torque setting on that, so you just make sure it's fully tight. Okay, so now you've replaced the blades, you've replaced the cutting screen, and you've tightened up, you've done the preload. So that's your rotor cut back in optimum conditions.